Privateer Holdings Incorporated?
Sure. I spent over 15 years in law enforcement, 10 years with DEA. I worked primarily on targeting large-scale drug trafficking organizations, moving heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine, etc. And now at Privateer Holdings, I'm going to be running their compliance program and acting as an in-house attorney.
And you're going to be making sure that Privateer Holdings adheres to state law, but not presumably federal law, because marijuana is still illegal federally, right?
Right. So we're operating in obviously a very complicated legal area here. Excuse me. What our business is focused on right now is investing and managing businesses that support the cannabis industry. For instance, we operate Leafly.com, which is like a Yelp of cannabis review, and we just established an enterprise called Arbormain that's going to run and manage business parks in Washington State for cannabis production. Obviously, it's an emerging industry, and as we transition from a black market to a legal market, we're kind of having to make it up as we go along. But we're doing it in a way that's ensuring professionalism, legitimacy, and transparency.
When you were a DEA agent and you were fighting drugs and the importation, the selling of narcotics, did you think that marijuana shouldn't have been included on the list?
Well, there came a point in time in my career when I realized that targeting marijuana was not an effective use of our resources. And the reality is, myself and most of my colleagues had always subconsciously prioritized the drugs that we felt were causing the most harm to society. We're talking about cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and that marijuana was just not an effective use of our resources.
How do your old DEA buddies feel about your new career?
I have to be honest, the response has been overwhelmingly positive.
That's surprising because obviously DEA individuals take the war on drugs very seriously. Marijuana is still illegal federally. I understand that you didn't think it should be a high priority, but you never told me that you thought it should be legal. How do you justify it, and why do you think you're getting such a positive response from your former DEA colleagues?
Well, I have the utmost respect for all my former colleagues. I had a very fulfilling career there. They're doing difficult, dangerous, and thankless work. And as I said, the reality is they're focusing on the hard drugs. But DEA agents are just a subset of the American population as a whole. And 58% of Americans believe that cannabis should be legal. And I'm one of them.
In a recent poll, as you point out, 58% of Americans are in support of legalization. In August, the White House announced that the federal government will not interfere with state marijuana laws. Have you smoked marijuana since leaving DEA?
I'm going to politely decline to answer that question, but I will say this. Adult, responsible use of marijuana is a decision that every individual adult should make for themselves.
Patrick Moen, thank you so much for joining us and telling your interesting story. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And today, authorities